Hi everyone, and welcome to Moxxie Life Coaching. I'm Michelle, and I'll be your host as we explore what life coaching is and how it can empower you to create and live your best life. We'll talk about topics ranging from our own self-defeating behaviors to getting to know our authentic selves. Together, we'll investigate a variety of self-coaching modalities and explore a wide range of topics relevant to getting the most out of the life that you are actively creating. New episodes will drop every Tuesday, so please subscribe so you don't miss out on the great hints, tips, and tricks, and generally awesome content that will help you create your best life. So welcome, and thank you for listening. Hi everyone, welcome to Moxxie Coaching Podcast. My name is Michelle, and I'll be your host as we together figure out what this podcast is going to be all about. I thought that in my initial podcast, I would just give you a little bit of information about who I am and how I came to coaching. And then over the next few episodes, I'll intersperse some information about my personal life and about my vision for Moxxie Coaching. So I'm basically just interviewing myself because that's the only way I can make sure that I'm getting you all the information that I would want to hear if I were you. So my first question for myself is, how did you come to coaching? And I would say that I came to coaching organically, that without really realizing it, essentially all of my career choices from the moment I got out of college until the last few years have been preparing me, I guess is the best way to say that. My background is in actually education and literature. Kind of an odd combination, but when you get the literature degree first and you realize that you need to eat, you go back to school. So anyway, through the education portion of my career, I was coaching constantly. I was either coaching students, or I was coaching parents, or I was coaching my employees. And as I moved on in the world and life changed, careers changed, and that type of thing, I continued on into adult vocational education. And in that setting, I was working originally as a career services department creator, someone responsible for putting together a career services department for a vocational school. And so through that, one of the things that I implemented was a student coaching element. And in that setting, I did a lot of coaching of probably 18 to 25-year-olds, primarily. And we would talk about everything from what do you wear to an interview, to how do you behave in an interview, to what might be blocking you in getting a job, and those types of things. In that same company, I moved up then to education director. And at that point, then I was responsible for all of the instructors. And I spent a lot of time coaching them. We did a lot of work on who we're being and how we're approaching our career and our students, and what the company was trying to achieve on a non-monetary basis, I guess. The company was committed to trying to help people, give them a leg up, and create some possibility for themselves. So from there, I moved up into the full school director position, and we had 3 locations. And again, I was doing a lot of coaching of employees, and unfortunately, I was also the person who was the principal, so to speak, the person who had to deal with any student disciplinary matters that had not been resolved through the other options the student had. So there was a lot of variation between the types of people I was coaching and the reasons that they needed that coaching. Most of our students were people struggling just to figure out what they wanted to do with their lives. They were from low income areas typically, and they were a very different group of folks than the Catholic preschool moms that I had coached earlier. So I'm very blessed in that I had a wide range of experiences that have brought me to this place in my life where I'm coaching and thoroughly enjoying it. My favorite part of coaching is that part when I ask someone a question and you can tell they're thinking because their eyes look up and into the corner. And they're thinking and they're thinking, and then the light bulb comes on and they realize through a simple question what's been going on for them, or they have some sort of breakthrough. It's an aha moment, and that is by far my favorite thing because it's kind of juicy for me. It's like, yes, 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 this is awesome. I can tell that this is working and I'm helping, and all of those wonderful things, that self-affirming stuff that we humans need. But it's also so amazing to watch people and to see them light up and to see the wheels start turning that maybe haven't been turning in a long time. The wheels of possibility, I guess, is the best way to put that. So that is my favorite part indeed in coaching. What type of coaching do I like to do? I am a serial do-gooder and have discovered that I can't afford to be a serial do-gooder because I'm not independently wealthy. And I have had jobs in the past that have not basically just been what I needed financially, which is quite moderate. But what I've learned and what my personal coach has taught me is that I can do a whole lot more good in the world by helping others, by helping people who want to do good as well, raise their vibration, move into a place in their lives where they've got the courage to do what they want to do. And so that's the type of coaching that I like to do. I like to work with people who have goals and aspirations that are, I'm trying to articulate this, goals and aspirations that are in some way, shape, or form a positive contribution to the universe. There we go. So I'm not talking about the next person to create the next pandemic vaccine. I'm not talking about someone um, handing their husband their keys, hopping on a plane, and going off to change the world somewhere else. Sure, fantastic. I would love that. That would be awesome. But that isn't realistic for most of us. And what's realistic for most of us is to create small change. And the combination of my small change and your small change and 30 other clients' small changes um, can really add up. And so that's where I get excited. And your small change might be something as simple as I am really struggling right now with being a mom. It's really hard. It's been hard, especially since the pandemic. I've been home. I've been, whatever bunkers. I've been trying to work. I'm trying to educate my kids. I'm trying to do all of these things. And I feel like I'm just on the edge of being an enormous B word, right? I'm just feeling like I'm going to lose it. And I need some help in figuring out how to manage those types of feelings. Well, any mom can tell you that that's perfectly normal. And any mom can also tell you that it is worth taking the time to try to figure out those things. And that by figuring out those things, you're able to be in a place that can nurture yourself, that can nurture your children. And by doing so, that in and of itself creates an incredible amount of positive energy. So, in terms of the type of coaching I like to do, that's it in a nutshell. Coaching that helps people add more positivity to the world. Pretty basic. What makes my coaching unique? Well, I use traditional coaching methodologies. We use assessments, personality, career aptitude, all of those types of things as appropriate for each individual client. But I also integrate alternative modalities into my coaching. And by that, I mean things that some people consider a little bit off the beaten track, like the tarot, numerology. I'm fascinated by what's going on in the quantum physics world as related to all of this metaphysical stuff. I do yoga on a very, very regular basis and have learned a lot and appreciate that. And so I think what I'm saying is that I bring in all of these alternatives to supplement the traditional coaching. And the alternatives I bring in are brought in with the permission of the client. Some people are completely geeked to start using the tarot in their coaching, and some people really have no interest. So it's completely up to the client as to how they would like to deal with that. But from my perspective, I can use numerology to get a feel for the type of person you are before I even meet you, as long as I have your full name and your birth date, those types of things. So I like to think of it as a marriage of the intuitive, energetic world with the traditional clinical world of coaching. So that's what I think makes my coaching unique. And my last question for myself is, do you have a coach and why? The answer to that is yes, indeedy, I do have a coach. And I think she's fantastic. I am feeling very blessed to be working with her. I've been working with her now not quite a year. And I went to her initially because I was struggling with work-life balance and needed some tips, from somebody else to get me on track and keep me motivated. Um, just because I'm a coach does not make me the perfect human being. Um, I still have my own stuff. Everybody's got their own stuff. So I work with my coach every 2 weeks, and we have worked through things ranging from, oh my goodness, lack of closure due to parental death. We've worked on self-confidence issues in a few places. We've worked on Moxxie Coaching. She's been working with me to keep me moving forward, and it gives me someone to be accountable to continue to build Moxxie the way I want to build it, because I know myself, I have a tendency to get overwhelmed with things and then I will just drop it. And my goal is to grow Moxxie, not to just maintain. And that's why I'm doing the podcast and all of those great things. So I do credit my coach with certainly not doing the work. I've done the work just as you would do the work if you were my client. But I credit her with, seeing me in a way that I don't always see myself. And I think that's one of the big gifts of coaching, or receiving coaching, is that you get to know your coach gets to know you, and they're able to see things in a way that you may not be able to see them. And it's almost like having a good friend who tells you the truth, in that they know you well because you get to know your coach. She knows intimate details of my life. And by having that relationship with her, I'm able to grow and evolve with support. And now, when I say girlfriend, I don't mean like she's my bud and I give her a call on the weekends and, we go hiking or whatever. I don't mean that. I mean, I'm comfortable with her in a way that I am with a close friend. As a coach, we maintain a very professional relationship. There's a boundary there. So I just want to make that clear in the coaching thing, because I think it's, especially when you and your coach appreciate one another and you think, "Oh, I could hang out with her." Well, yep, I absolutely could hang out with my coach, but it's probably not a good idea. And um, I need that professional distance. If I didn't have that professional distance from her, I don't know if I would trust her judgment as well. So, it's kind of a balancing act. But very long answer to a question that did not have to be that long. Yes, I do have a coach, and those are the essential reasons why. So that was my last question for myself. I want to thank you for bearing with me through this first Moxxie Coaching Podcast. I really hope that they'll get better and I won't be stumbling along quite so much and all of that good stuff. So, yeah, I look forward to talking to you again. And so please hit the subscribe button. I have a hard time saying that. The subscribe button. And rate and review the podcast when you have listened to enough that you feel like you have a good understanding of what we're all about. And I'm also available on all the social media at Moxxie Coaching. And thank you so much. I look forward to talking to you again. Be well.